Oh, oh, oh. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. So today is the eighth day of Margazhi month Tamil solar calendar. So today we are starting our upasana, our sadhana on Thiruppavai. So Thiruppavai, we have been seeing that Andal has written Pasuram 30. Each day one Pasuram we have been seeing, and she is a devotee of Lord Krishna and she wants to unite with him because of her guru's story narration to her about Krishna. She really got total affection and connection with him. So, in the eighth Tirupavai Pasuram, Bhakti, urgency, dawn in the heart center, and inner symbolism of various Puranic stories are there. So, from the day 1 to 7, we have been looking at how Andal has been insisting to have a discipline in the life and to pray to the God who is our eternal connection. And that God, first verse, we had a connection with respect to that of his the form of Krishna, where he is the daughter of, sorry, son of Yashoda, and how he has been so courageous, and then how he appears with the dark complexion, red eye, radiant is that of the sun, and the Amsha of Narayana. So, continuing, she was helping us to undergo the Pavai Viradam. And after undergoing the Pavai Viradam, it was equivalent to that of the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Yama and Niyama, is what our understanding and analogy was. Once you undergo this Pave Vritam, then she said that it is not for your personal goal, but it is for the Loka Kshema. By doing so, it is not that you will attain something, definitely the whole world will appreciate it, but then also the you will be blessed and along with others with the rain, and the crops will grow, the grains will come up, the human beings will get their food, the nourishment will happen to the earth, the fishes will grow, and further so on and so forth. All goodness will happen. So that is why we have been undertaking it, because we will no more have this I-ness and minus with us when we follow this Yama Niyama. So then she was saying how we need to compare this Vamana and Trivikrama Avatara was the next day, where we understood the Vamana himself had become Trivikrama to take up the land of three, where he took the Ahankara of Mahabali, through which we understood that our Ahankara and Mamakara also to be surrendered to Lord. And we did prostrations to Sri Devi Bhudevi by offering flowers, so with that the nourishment happens to the earth. And why is this nourishment is the next shloka for the Loka Kshema. For that, she compared the clouds with respect to that of Lord Krishna's body, which is dark complexion, and the lightning is compared to that of the Sudarshana Chakra, and the thunder is compared to that of his Shankha, Panchajanya, and then this rain is compared to that of the Sharga bow, from which how the arrows flow. Come out one after the other quickly. Similarly, the rain has to flow so much that the crops should get sufficient water, so that every nourishment happens to the earth, through which the Bhutani, all the world people also get nourishment. So by doing this Pavai Vratam, what happens is that the like our all the sins are getting washed away. How the analogy was how the fire, when we put any thing into the fire, it makes it into ashes. Similarly, by the bhakti bhava which we bring in for Lord, then all the sins that we carried, the um, from the previous birth and this in this birth, sanchita, prarabdha, all that, the agami will also not happen, and the sanchita goes away, by which we connect with the Lord, the jivatma paramatma aikya happens. So then we were also continuing to see how she's trying to wake that girl who is sleeping by saying so many sounds are heard, which are auspicious, like that of the Shankha of the Garuda Vahana Vishnu temple. Shankha is heard, and the people, the Munis and Rishis are praising Hari, Hari, but still don't you hear all this and sleeping? Come on, get up from this slumber of this worldly attachment and connect with the permanent attachment towards the God. And who is this God? She was mentioning that this God is none other than the Krishna himself, who was born in Mathura, and who was playing in the Yamuna river, which was tranquil, and then who is like the Deepa of that Yadukula dynasty, and then who also blessed the mother Devaki by becoming, I mean, coming by entering into her womb, and who allowed Yashoda Mata to tie his udara with the rope, so that he was called Damodara because of his gratitude, and means if because of his compassion towards the mother, who was, though ignorant, he was compassionate. So similarly, he is compassionate towards his devotees. And such Krishna, we need to do prostrations. Only then the sins will be removed. Then further, she was saying that we need to wake up in the morning, take bath. If we don't wake up, then we are connecting only with the ephemeral world. So it is not a waking up of the body, but the waking up of inner soul, the Jivatma, which is always been in the comfort zone. It has to come out of that. So she said that you need to live an awareness based life by which you understand that the whole world, whatever is happening, we are trying to get happiness from it, is only up and down, and it comes and goes, and it never gives you the permanent happiness. So he was calling the Narayana Keshava, is what this. The Gopikas are calling, are you not hearing those praises and still sleeping? And she was even giving an example about how this birds are chirping in the morning, and so many praises are sung, still you are not able to wake up for that. So today we are seeing கீழ்வானம் வெள்ளென்று எருமை சிறுவீடு மேய்வான் பரந்தனகான் மிக்குள்ள பிள்ளைகளும் போவான் போகின்றாரை போகாமல் காத்துன்னை கூவான் வந்து நின்றோம் கோது கலமுடைய பாவாய் எழுந்திராய் பாடிப்பறை கொண்டு மாவாய் பிளந்தானை மல்லரை மாட்டிய தேவாதி தேவனைச் சென்று நாம் சேவித்தால் என்று ஆராய்ந்து அருளேலோர் எம்பாவாய். So here he is saying that how this one who possesses only happiness as your wealth, oh beautiful one, is what is the way she calls these girls, meaning like the girls are none other than us. So we think that our happiness is only on possessing our wealth, and we think that beauty is the only thing from which we feel that we are getting recognized and justifying ourselves. So, but she is saying, give up all that. The east is brightening, the east side, where the sun's rays, and the buffaloes are standing ready to graze the field, and all the girls have arrived for their bath, but you are just sleeping. Who is that? You is our Jivatma. They are urging, she is urging us to take bath immediately, and these girls are also ready for it, but you are not yet ready as you are still sleeping. But she is saying that we are compassionate enough to stop for you, calling out to you repeatedly. Why? Because we want you also to get that total enjoyment what we are getting. And she is saying, how will we get that? If we worship Krishna, the Lord of the Lords, who killed the demon Keshi by tearing open its mouth when it came in the form of a horse, and who defeated the wrestlers of the Kamsa, like Mushtika and others. And he also, that kind of Krishna, grant us his blessings. And how will he grant us? Usually, he will not grant that easily to anybody, because he wants a sincere, serious bhakta or a sadhaka who is ready to give up his ahankara and mamakara, and who is ready to give up his slumber and ignorance, and who doesn't want to be comfortable with his comfort zone, and who overcomes his urges towards the indriya and the manas, and who has this discipline of sadhana daily. That kind of person, the God is ready to bless with a joyful cry. So, oh girl, leave all these your inner tendencies at once right now, so that you are ready to get the blessings of the Lord. Otherwise, He is not ready to bless anybody just like that, because He wants the discipline from the sadhak or the bhakta. So here it is more a bhakti grantha. So that is why here about the bhakti is given as a predominance. But if you see, actually, it is not necessarily the bhakti that has to, not necessarily through the bhakti you have to reach the God. So there are also some other ways through by which you can reach him. So that is what says the Upanishad also. What is that Upanishad says? It says that if you have this yogic physiology where you have different koshas, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. So when you have, these are like a shield, and they are covering you from not to connect with your actual swabhava, which is inward, the Atma. So these Atma are covered like a shield. It is like the sword which is covered in a box, and you cannot, until you open the box and remove the box, you cannot see the sword and take it. Similarly, here also we have all our different personalities of ourselves, and those personalities are hiding our what do you call this actual nature. Once you are able to identify that, then only here it is said that we can overcome our we can connect with our actual nature. This is what is said in all the Upanishads. So that Upanishadic thought is what is echoed by our Andal here, because she says that similarly we need to overcome our lower tendencies, comfort zones. So she says in a way that we really understand, and we can the bhakti. She feels that everybody cannot understand this jnana, so she comes with the bhakti marga. So today I want to show you on how we can see in Taittiriya Upanishad. Right. So in the Taittiriya Upanishad, there is this analogy. There is this Bhrigu, and in the Bhrigu, what it says is the same as that of the Andal Pasuram. 1 minute. So this is what is the presentation. So in this presentation, if you see, the sound of the bliss, that is the aha, like that he says, right, and comes to bless you. So that is in Thiruppavai Pasuram 8 by Andal. The same is given in Taittiriya Upanishad, Bhrigu. Third, is the chapter is the Bhrigu. Third, not chapter, division in the 10th chapter. So, sorry, 10th verse. So, why this presentation is done is that what is this, to understand what is this sound, aha, he says and comes and blesses. That's what she mentions in Thiruppavai. Is it merely a poetic imaginary that aha, we think, God will think? Or do the Vedas also speak something about this sound? So, what is this connection between this sound which is mentioned in the Upanishad, like who are, and this? So Andal says that he will grant us grace, crying with aha. What is that? It is not an angry cry. It is not a battle shout out. It is an outburst of the complete bliss. Once you cut asunder your lower tendencies, because you are connecting with your lower personality and feel that lower personality will give me happiness. Might be beautiful body, That's what she initially mentioned. Or might be the beautiful, the strength or the energy that you possess in your young age, or with respect to that of the emotions where you are having a higher emotion, or even when you connect with your ideologies, you are having the ideology which is like unmatchable. When you have all these kind of happiness, when you get from these kind of koshas, these kind of behaviors, these kind of personalities, then you feel that gives you happiness. So you seek happiness towards that. I want to look beautiful, or I want to be more energetic, and I want to be more uplifted towards the emotions, or I want to show myself to be having a higher actions or energies that can impress people or justify that I am better than the other person. So that's when we fail, because it is not always possible, and there can always be some person who is better than us. So the moment when the Lord cannot withhold the grace, that's when is the sound. So here we should leave, here in the Taittiriya Upanishad we see स एवं वित् एतम् अन्नमयम् आत्मानम् उपसंक्रम्य एतम् आनन्दमयम् आत्मानम् उपसंक्रम्य, like that. This I have not written full, so like that one by one each kosha recall, and finally etat samaganan aste how how. So this is the samagana that is incorporated in the Taittiriya Upanishad, which is actually not Samaveda, Yajurveda Upanishad, but in that they are including that Samaveda Gana. Why? Because once you Annamaya Atmanam, you leave, and then you go to Pranamaya Atmanam Upasankramya, then you go inward, which is the Anomaya Atmanam Upasankramya, then you go further inward, the Buddhi, Vijnanamaya Atmanam Upasankramya, further you go inward, Anandamaya Atmanam Upasankramya, and then you hear the Samagana, Etat Samagana, and Aste, ha. So that's what it says. So what is this ha? So it is not a mantra, and also it is not a japa. It is not even a sentence with a meaning. Then what is that? It is a spontaneous sound that is arising when there is a Brahman bliss that is experienced in your inner nature, and you have outcasted all those the different koshas which you think that to be you. So first you, like one by one, like when you peel the onion, so it goes on, and you see that remains like nothing actually. But here there remains this external bliss. Like ha means the exhalation of outer flowing of the joy. Sorry. So that is why ha. Then woo, that is the inner resonance which is dissolving the bliss inside you, and not it is outside. So this ha means it's outcry, and woo means the joy is inward. So that there are like the gross, and we do it three times here because there is a gross body, the subtle body, and the causal body. Every places you feel this joy because all of them are removed. So the bliss pervades all the three levels. So further, when you transcend these five koshas, which I already told you, this Annamaya, the physical sheath, the Pranamaya, the vital energy, and the Manomaya is the mind where the emotions are the seat of the emotion. Vijnanamaya is where the intellect, where you get the ideas and the buddhi, and the Anandamaya is your vasanas, where you have been accumulating from many births, and because of which you go, when you die, like in Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, shloka 8, it is said that once you the body is like when the prana is coming out of the body, then shariram yet avapnoti yet cha apyutkramat ishwarah अप्युत्क्रामति ईश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुः गन्धानि वाशया. Just like how the wind is taking away the smell of fragrance of the flower from one place to the other, similarly this jivatma, just when it comes out of this sthula sharira, the sukshma karana sharira are taken, and it stays might be in different planes until the papa punya is become stabilized. Like might be one is high, one is low, until it becomes like sama, it will be in different plane. And once it reaches the sama, then it comes back to the bhuloka and take up the another body. Kshine punye martya lokam shanti, again the 15th chapter. sorry, ninth chapter, shloka 21. So the transcending of all these happens, then you abide in the Brahman. But whereas in the Anandamaya, you go from one to other, the migration happens. But here the transcending happens. It's not a transmigration, but transcending. So once you transcend, the sound arises, is what is given in that Upanishad. So if you compare this Veda and Thiruppavai, Veda it says ha woo, the Samavedic sound of the bliss arising from the Brahmananda experience, not the Koshananda, which is mentioned like Annamaya Kosha, oh, I am so happy about my beauty. Pranamaya Kosha, I'm happy about my energy. Manomaya Kosha, I'm happy about my like emotional satisfaction when you get with respect to probably the children or family or anything. Vijnanamaya Kosha, where you get the recognition for your ideas, or somebody is honoring you or something. And Anandamaya, where you are in the deep sleep and you feel very satisfied in the sleep, but it is ignorant nature of yours. So it is not none of these, because they all come and go. You cannot sleep all the time. But if you see in the Brahmananda experience, it is complete always. So the expression of the realized person, Brahmavid, Brahmaiva Bhavati, the person who is like, for example, the other day I had given you an example of a person who is looking through the telescope, some celestial traces of some probably stars or something. The telescope is different. What he is seeing is different. The knower is different. So the knower, the known, and the object through which they know, all the three are different. But here, the one who knows his true nature becomes that. So there is no subject object, there is no knowing, knower, knowable, but there is only one. And that when the Triputi goes out and only one comes up, that's when the Brahmananda experience arises. So in Tirupavai, we say that complete surrender and collective devotion of all of those gopikas together brings in the God to bless them. So the blissful sound expressed by the Lord himself here as ah, but here the blissful experience is expressed in Upanishad through your own in the heart center. So the moment where that mature bhakti culminates into the divine ascent. Meaning the divine is not that he comes from some sky or some goloka or something. No, the expression is because he is there in your heart center, and you all of you together collectively do the surrender, and collectively with the pure devotion you do it for the loka kshema, not for your own mental satisfaction or for your own pride or for your own gratification. So but for a collective bhakti, then automatically he is ready to descend in your own heart center, and that's when you hear that cry of the God. So the core truth is that the mature devotion brings in the divine acceptance of the Jivatma, accepting the divinity inside himself in his heart center, Dhanahata Chakra, Hridaya Akasha, and the Vedic experience expressed in the form of the Bhakti language for anybody to understand, because it is not easy for anyone to understand the Vedic knowledge so easily. So the philosophy of the sound A is the prolonged vowel, and it is the completion. If you see, it is the fullness, it is the contentment that gives you ah. Because for example, if you see any sound starts with ah, then it goes to o, it goes to im, which is om, right? The om is nothing but a sound beginning and ending. There is no sound that is no, there is not a completion, that is not a fullness. It is like it is, I can say it is completing, but it is not a fullness, because you say om from the nabi, then it is O, A plus O together makes O sound. That is a Sandhi rule in grammar. So A plus O is O. So that's why we hear it as Om. Om. It's like that. So when you see it is a creation, then it is the sustenance, U, and it is the completion, that is the dissolution. So there is a creation, there is a sustenance, and there is a dissolution. Or we can say it in the right word as manifestation, sustenance, dissolution. But the sound manifests with and the sound sustains in the O, and sound ends with So that if there is something manifesting, that has to end also. But here there is no ending. There is no there is, it doesn't require anything to complete itself. The sound itself is opening up the contentment, the fullness, and it is a prolonged vowel. So, from a Vedic standpoint, the bliss does not speak, it just resounds. So, why Krishna is is because the collective devotion, the Sangha Bhakti of all the Gopikas together, and it is the discipline of the time, the dawn, that I want to do it at this time for my Lord, and it is the immediate readiness of myself to give myself to Him by connecting with my inner nature, who is devoting myself for Him and not devoting myself for the world. And the total surrender where I am not holding up anything for myself. So the Lord's irrevocable yes is this accent of the sound. So this meditative application is that the Briguvalli and the Thiruppavai is together, is that inner stillness is aroused, dawn, that is, it arises. Then the gentle sense of the sound with it is not a japa, or it is not any permission, but it is the grace that is granted in your heart center. So, in a summary, the how is the experimental sound of the Briguvalli, experiential sound of the Briguvalli, and is the bhakti expression mentioned in the Thiruppavai by Andal. So, usually the Anandavalli in the Taittiriya Upanishad is a philosophy which tells you what you have to do, and Briguvalli is when you experience, and in the Andal's Pasuram, it is the Tamil voice of the Vedic realization. And so the bliss does not speak, it just resounds in your heart center. In Veda, it is called Ha, Ooh, and in Tirupavai, it is called A. So this is what we understood, and we are, this is just the experience of our inner nature, and it is the very beautiful verse by Andal where she is resounding the Vedic thoughts. It is not just something she is saying, and not some her own idea, but it is a Veda which she is putting up in the form of the Upanishad, which she is putting up in the form of bhakti. Okay, so please sit quietly, the spine soft, upright. Allow the breath to become natural. The hands in Chin Mudra or Jnana Mudra. Close your eyes, preferably Jnana Mudra, as we are going inward and going to feel the experience. Visualize the eastern sky slowly brightening. Not a harsh light, but a gentle golden glow in your heart center. The dawn is awakening your awareness in your heart center. Feel the world is stirring, that the buffaloes are standing in the grass fields ready to graze. The nature is prepared to do its duty one by one. So you need to ask yourself, the Jivatma is questioned, is my inner nature ready for this Bhagavan's grace? The call of the soul, the Gopikas gathering at the river bank. Visualize the river bank in your heart center. Visualize the Gopikas. Connect with their face. It shows their heart which is eager. Their purpose is very clear. The one rich only will get this happiness is not in their mind. There is one soul which is resting, and that is thinking that one rich only in happiness. This is you. They call again and again, not in anger, but in loving urgency, that we are waiting for you. Feel the call within, the call of dharma, the call of sadhana, the call of the divine heart. Are you ready to follow this sadhana and connect with the divine? The time is ripe. The moment will not return again. The compassion pauses for you. The teaching of Andal is trying to be dawning in. Sink in with this message. The divine path waits, but it does not delay without a reason. Feel the gentle pressure of the grace, saying to yourself internally, rise now. Now visualize Lord Sri Krishna in your eyebrow center, slowly moving from the heart center to the eyebrow center, Chidakasha. See him tearing open the mouth of Keshi, the horse demon. Now deeply see who is this Keshi in you. The Keshi is the pride which you own in their Vijnanamaya Kosha. The Keshi is the restless ego you have in your mental identification. And the Keshi is the force without the surrender. Your head is not ready to bow to that God. Though even if you do the surrender by doing namaskara, it is not complete. You're holding on to yourself. So Krishna destroys it effortlessly. Now see an arena. He is defeating the wrestlers of Kamsa. Who are these wrestlers? They are the doubt within you that will this yield me the highest happiness? They are the fear in you that if I go on this path, will I miss out something? They are your habitual resistance which says that let me take a break today. They are the body conscious arrogance which says that I am this body, I am not ready to surrender to the consciousness. All fall before him. The gopis proclaim, if we worship him together, he will bless us with a joyful cry. The cry is his anugraha, the grace bursting forth. Inwardly say to yourself, O Krishna, Lords of the Lord, I rise, I leave the delay behind, I come. This is the sankalpa that you have taken, that you are arisen from your mental vagaries, illicit attachments, unwanted desires, ephemeral hopes. You have left forth all these and you have arisen. You are no more interested in delaying yourself for the union of this Jivatma with that Paramatma. And you are ready and you have come. Hear the lasting loving command through this Andal, who is the Guru for us in this Margari month. She says, Oh, leave at once. This is not an outer movement, it is an inner rising. O Jivatma, leave at once your laziness, hesitation, self satisfaction, or delay in the devotion. If we leave the laziness, we get the readiness. If we leave our hesitation, we get the sadhana which is shared with everyone together in this month. And if we connect with the divine rhythm, no more self satisfaction, thinking that this will yield me happiness, that will yield me happiness. And if you delay in devotion, you cannot get the joy which is permanent. So bring that joyful obedience, step into the divine rhythm, get yourself ready. Now, in the heart center, feel yourself walking towards the water. The water is purification, shaucha, discipline, and union, yoga. I am no longer separate from the call. Take few deep breaths and allow the dawn within fully rise. As you breathe in, see the dawn arising. As you breathe out, see the hesitation going away. As you breathe in, see this Shraddha and the sadhana rising in the through the dawn. As you breathe out, see the hesitation, laziness, and self satisfaction through the koshas melting away. The gods cry, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, is heard. And yes, once the dawn has arisen, you can feel the bliss eternally glowing in your heart center. Connect with this internal bliss through the Jyoti form in your Anahata Chakra. It has this nada of ah. Be aware of the sound and the light, which is within but not outside. Are you ready and receptive? Just be aware of your own self. Do not get into judgment. Just be aware. Go deeper in the heart center. Allow yourself to sink in. Do the Sharanagati. No more egocentric thoughts and desires. No more I and mine. Only Krishna consciousness in your whole heart, filling up with bliss and grace. The whole body, the energy, the mind, the buddhi, and the unconscious state have all got the bliss of Him. Ow, ow, ow is the outcry. Be there in few moments on that bliss. It is not from external happiness, but it is just being there in your state of being internal. Slowly connect with your body conscious, your body weight on the mat, your prana flow, the temperature in your body, the clothing, identification, the identification of the room where you are seated, the hands together in pranam mudra. असतो मा सत्कमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यकृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम् Palming, cupping your eyes with the vitality and the divine grace and blessings of the God. Opening your eyes to your palms and to a Guru or a Krishna photo if you have. Feeling that the grace and bliss has already flown through your all personalities and you have arisen to God and no more. Dusk to you, only the dawn fully experienced. Thank you, Hari Om.